one and only Middle Rooms Explorer. Probably going to change that name in the future, but that's what we're going to be sticking with for right now. Anyways, this channel is dedicated to the missing piece of the back rooms, in which is called the middle rooms. As we go through multiple levels and entities, and even items in here as well, why don't we start with something small, which is a level? Level 0. This level is classified as a level 1 difficulty, with it being unsafe, secure, and devoid of entities, which is always nice for people who are entering the mill rooms for the first time. Level 0 is described as a sterile laboratory with metallic walls, floors, and ceilings, which is what you would probably expect in a sci-fi type of movie like Men in Black. As you traverse through this level, however, you'll find many items near or in cabinets such as hazmat suits, scalpels, money, pencils, protective glasses, Jesus, beakers, and lab coats. Basically, what you would find in a typical laboratory inventory. However, while walking through these halls and rooms, you'll notice that seem to be notes about different levels from the main 10. Now, as I explained before, the cabinets are places you can find various items, but once in a while you'll find one with a small hole that is way too small for a human to fit in. But if you're able to fit your hand into this hole, you'll find out that the hole leads into various sharp metal that are extremely too dangerous to touch. However, it is to remain perfectly clear that while some pieces of metal are safe to touch, it is advised not to touch any way possible due to possible injuries. If I were to say what the wiki said, the wiki would might lead me to the shadow realm. Excuse me. Now, there are certain rooms that you must, and I repeat, must not enter under any circumstances, as they will release unknown hazardous gas, which will cause you to pass out in a few seconds if not treated. You will, in quotes, expire, so the wiki says, in about 30 minutes. But WAR does indeed save the person, but if you don't have WAR, well, you might have to put that person out of their misery. Now, this is not the only effect that can happen. When a wanderer touches a reflective surface, and I mean any reflective surface, such as mirrors, glass, and anything, then a certain effect called the reflective mesmerism takes place, which causes illusions around the traveler that could cause mental fatigue. So let's like not touch anything reflective because it's something very easy to avoid, and I feel like if you touch something, then you're either asking for it or you just didn't read the wiki or watch this video. Now, another weird quirk of level 0 is the fact that, okay, is the fact that there, no matter how big or small the room or hallway is, it will always cause a significant echo. I'm sorry for the long pause, but I need to slow down. Holy cow. But I believe that is very neat because you could be in like a 1 by 1, like a 2 by 2 feet room, and it will still cause an echo. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of the level and explain the three or hall from what it says three, but there's only one main section described called Section 1, the practical sector. This sector is primarily made up of many empty hallways and rooms, with only one huge chamber and items as the sole entities in this level. Now there is a main room named Crafts of Life. Once the traveler enters the room, they can never get out until the timer ends, which is set at 5 days. However, the traveler is unaware of this clock until the 3 day mark, in which, at the point in time, they will begin to hear a ticking of a clock coming from somewhere in the room, which, if with anyone with eyes, can see a huge timer on the screen in the bold white letters. And I feel like anyone who is in there before the 3 day mark is going to be freaking out. It's like, how can I exit? They'll be panicking. They're going to possibly lose sanity if sanity works the same way as it is in here as it is in the back rooms. Now, the items you may encounter in this room during your 5 day period is either a flesh's eye, a snatcher's eye, and or a wooden humanoid's wood. Now onto the dangers of the level. Dangers are stated before. There are no entities present in this level, but but the pieces of the entities can be dangerous as they can still be seen as functional, such as acids from the flesh eye's eye. Other than that, the only danger seen here is usually sickness, scraping, and sometimes injuring yourself on accident. Now let's get into the main reason you're of this level. You'll see you'll be tasked with different objectives. They can either range from something very simple like walking a few meters to something extremely complex like doing a math equation or whatever whatever the main task is. But if you don't finish this task within 5 days of entering this level, you'll return to the previous level you came from, but also have a defect such as being a carrier of a sickness. Outposts? Well, there's not many at all actually outposts due to the effects of level 0. Entrances. To the to enter this level, you'll need to clip in and out of reality to enter this level. Exits. Different ways to exit is failing this mission will expire you, if you know what I mean. Completing the mission, which will lead you to level 11. Consuming one of the reactants may lead you to level 11, however, it is not guaranteed. And choosing to not do the mission and continue walking further will lead you to level 1. Now, I think this level is pretty good, and this is a good start of this channel and Middlerooms itself. It's new and completely different from the Backrooms level 0. Now, I do want you to be patient with me. I never narrated or do any backrooms or middle rooms or front rooms explanation videos before in my life. So I would like if you would be patient with me. I'm doing my best. It's my first time ever doing this. I will get better at reading, and the editing might not be much at all, if any at all. But I will try to produce better content in the future. Just please bear with me, and yeah. And I'm not the best reader, so if I take longer pauses or I stutter, that's more the reason why. Um, but yeah, like and subscribe, and come back next week. Bye, or tomorrow. Bye.